This conference will now be recorded.
Are we ready? It's 6:30. We'll go ahead and get the city council meeting on the roll. Remind you tonight, if you speak into your microphone, please speak into your microphone. It is directly wired to our camera, which should make a better sound going out to Facebook. So, Mr. Art, would you give our prayer and speak into your microphone? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's good. Father, we thank you so much for your love and kindness. We thank you, Lord, for each and every one that's able to be here listening. We ask, Lord, to bless this council as they attend to the city business, Lord. Everything will be done according to your will. And we ask all these things in Jesus' name.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Valentine. Councilmember Weir. Councilmember Howard.
Here.
Councilmember Hefner.
Here.
Councilmember McMahon.
Councilmember McMahon had contacted me earlier. He's going to be late.
And Councilmember Brooks.
We have a quorum.
For those of you on Facebook Live, if you'd like to text any questions or comments to 501-259-1273.
Very good. Ms. Jamie, are we on, as far as we know, we're on, right? Okay, good deal. We have a new camera tonight. Should be better situated. It is wired directly into the sound system, so sound should be much, much better on Facebook Live. Got to speak into your mic, so please. Be a great opportunity. Any questions on Facebook will not be answered until later on this evening when I go back to my office. I can't do it at the same time. So if you put anything out there on Facebook on chat, we'll pick it up at the end of this meeting. We'll answer it, or I'll answer it from there. So moving forward, next up on the agenda is review and approval of the August 17th, 2020 council minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So good.
We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Hearing none. All those approved say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the department reports and financials. I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So good.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Do we have comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. I just been notified, turn my mic on. How you like that? You ought to use yours. Next up on the agenda is the planning commission report. Mr. Gary could not be here tonight. At the planning commission, last planning commission was a joint planning commission with city council and planning commission with Metro Plan. You missed a good meeting. But there's a lot of things going forward. They gave us some insight on how we are going to move forward with updating our master street plan, our master sidewalk plan, our master land use plan, and that leads into the comprehensive use plan. It's a lot of work ahead, and it will not be done overnight. It'll take some time to do it, but planning commission will start on that this month. We'll get going and see if we can get an agenda or a timeline going on how we're going to work these items. They'll all require, most of them require public meetings, public hearings, where people have input on our thoughts. Having said that, I entertain a motion to approve the planning commission monthly report as it's presented and what I had to say.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second, and we have a second. Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the Building Permit Inspection Fees Committee that met Thursday. Jim McMahon was the chairperson of that. I think we'll, I gotta move the slide forward, or I'll be in trouble. We're going to speak about that in a little bit on the ordinance, so hopefully Mr. Jim will be here and can talk more about the committee meeting that we had. Going to old business. I'd entertain a motion to put ordinance 2020-09 up for its second reading, and then we'll have discussion. Your motion?
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Okay. Read title, please.
Ordinance 2020-09, an ordinance establishing the City of Ward, Arkansas Animal Control Code, repealing ordinance 0-2007-1, and for other purposes.
Very good. I'll open the floor for discussion. You have in front of you, that was provided to you with a modified ordinance, especially Exhibit 1, that addressed some of the issues and questions that Mayor Brook had presented. I'll open the floor for discussion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
on the, I just had a couple of questions.
Sure.
I think pretty much went back through the ordinance and made some adjustments and so forth. I noticed that in there in Article 1, Section 1, L or 1,
What page are you on, sir?
yeah. Anyway,
What page are you on?
it's a Article 1, it should be page 1 or 2. Anyway, it's Section 1.
Okay.
and
Oh.
J.
Jay, okay, on the fence. Yes, sir.
Electric fence. Can you qualify why you don't want electric fences? I would like to see, there's a lot of people who have electric fences which they sell. You go to TSC or any of those places, you can buy electric fences. They have them in different type of sending units to send out the wave, the shock wave. And I have one, okay, as far as that goes. And it prevents the dog from digging out.
Right.
I can grab a hold of it, it'll knock you down, won't kill you because it don't have any amperage. And so it's easy to, so it's not really detrimental.
Open for discussion. Open for discussion. That's, I copied a lot of these rules from different agencies, and that's what they had in it, but certainly open for discussion. Mr. Chris, do you have any comments on, from an attorney standpoint? Can you talk into a mic, sir?
That's all. Okay. I would want to research if that could be considered a appropriate amount
Okay.
charge or not. It's in other city ordinances, maybe talk to those cities and see, or maybe the thinking here is that because of our battery to operate, it may not be effective all the time. Somebody lets the batteries go down, dog gets it. If batteries aren't running, the fence is infected.
Well, that invisible fence that they have, that's electric.
That's true.
And that just kind of like,
And they don't work very well either.
Sounds like personal-
Fast enough, once they get across them, they're gone. So
I have a shock collar on my dog and he chewed it up.
What should be what's the liability? What's the definition of electric fence? So we're talking electric fence that actually has a wire that's voltage or it sends off a signal to the tower. Because then what would be the liability for if a child grabbed it, they got hurt? Things like that. That would be if it's actual electric fence like you have on farms and stuff like that. You put those up too.
yeah, that would definitely be on the
Fence.
Well, there is, I assume there is some liability involved in any type of fence you put up, barbed wire especially. So I'm not saying that nobody could possibly ever get hurt. That would be ridiculous. But I hunted for years. I hunt in places that I hunt, a lot of the cattle farmers that have the same thing. They got electric fence around property and so forth. If a livestock hits that, they jump away, okay? It doesn't knock any animal down or anything like that. So it's not, it doesn't know. Most of the ones I see out in the field are battery, 12-volt battery system, which is DC current. May jar your arm, but it shouldn't hurt you. Now, if they were running it and it was AC, I would be concerned.
What is the council's desire? I mean, that's what discussion's open to. I'm not wedded either way at all. That was just put in from research that I had done from other cities.
Well, sorry I was late. What was Chris's about the electric fence? You want electric? From
Well,
the bottom?
Mr. Brook brought it up about the not having that line in there. The fence must not be being a material that requires electricity or batteries to operate. I mean, easily that could be pulled out.
I think my
The-
neighbor has an electric fence.
And,
It's got
and-
yellow tags here and there, one wire across the top.
I assume then, Chris, that if somebody puts electric fence at their house and we don't bar it by this ordinance, it's on them if somebody gets hurt.
Yes.
Okay, so the answer to that was yes, it is on them. So, if the council wants to strike that sentence,
I make a motion, we strike it.
okay, we got a motion on the floor to strike that sentence dealing with electric fence. Do we have a second? Do we have any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Barentine,
The vote will be if you want to say yes, you want to strike it. If you want to say no, it stays in the ordinance, just for clarification. Section 2, paragraph J, section 1, paragraph J, the language is this fencing must not be in of material that requires electricity or batteries to operate. The motion is to strike that sentence. A vote for yes strikes it, a vote for no leaves it in there.
No.
Councilmember Weir,
No.
Councilmember Harbord,
Yes, it's to strike it, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes, strike it.
Councilmember McMahon,
No.
and Councilmember Brooke.
Yes.
That is tie. Under my authority as a mayor, I can break tiebreakers with a yes, or I don't vote at all. I vote yes, strike the sentence. Is that correct, Mr. Attorney? Okay. With my vote, motion carries. Now I'd like to, we'll just carry this on until next month for a third reading. Do we have any public comment on that?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask you another question.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I'm sorry, I didn't give you credit.
In this particular ordinance, it may be in here, I may have not read it, but I know in the past that they do board animals out. And I didn't see that covered in there, but I may have overlooked it. But I've read it a couple
You mean
times.
foster care?
Where if they have an overabundance of animals. in-
Foster care.
Yeah, foster care.
That's a good point. I don't think it's in there at all.
I think that it should be in there because the ordinance is very well structured, but I think that needs to be.
Certainly, we can add a language about foster care.
It should go coincide with
Oh, sure.
the instructions that we're passing on the ordinance. They should have to abide by the same criteria.
Seems like it was in there, but I don't remember exactly where.
I found myself reading a couple times and I could not find it. So,
Since we're not passing it tonight for adoption, it'll go for third reading. I can add that and do like I did with this one, add language and highlight it so it's red. So I will add language on foster care, or what do they call it?
Foster.
Thank you. Fostering out. Is there any comments that we need to look at on this ordinance?
Well, I wondered about goats. Why are they banned? Just curious. We have horses in town, but no goats. And I understand the pigs because they'll get big and people let them loose because they don't want to deal with them anymore.
I'm not really sure the answer to that, whether or not goats are otherwise.
Were they in the old one?
I don't think so. Let's do this. Goats and foster care. Let's not bring this back. Let's table this till next month. And so the second reading will be next month again. Let me do some research. Let me add some language on fostering, do some research on goats, and then we'll bring it back for a second reading because it'll be a substantial change and go from there. Because this doesn't have to be, I mean, we're living off of another ordinance. It's working fine, just needs to update it. Any discussion on that? If not, I'd entertain, well, first of all, is there any further discussion on the ordinance itself, on things we may want to add or take away? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to table this until next month. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll consider this tabled to next month, bring it back as a second reading next month with some, I think so, is that right? Yeah. I think Robin did. I think Jim Weir made the motion, Robin seconded. Okay. Moving on. Madam Clerk, would you read the title to Resolution 2020-25?
Resolution 2020-25, a resolution acknowledging the election of council member for the city of Ward by the majority vote of the governing body.
I entertain a motion to put Resolution 2020-25 up for adoption.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. We have a discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Weir,
Yes.
Councilmember Harbord,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember McMinn,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooke,
Yes.
Councilmember Valentine. Yes.
Very good. Do we have any public discussion for that? Okay, we'll make sure. Motion carries for Resolution 2020-25 passed. I'd entertain a motion to put ordinance 2020-10 up for its first reading.
So they,
Second,
Ordinance 2020-10, an ordinance establishing certain fees and permits for the city of Ward, replacing and repealing ordinance WC-6-93, 2005-03, and 2020-03, and any amendments thereto, and for other purposes.
I'll open the floor for discussion. This was a result of the meeting we had Thursday night with the committee. I'll open the floor to Jim, you were the chairperson. If you'd like to speak about this.
Yeah, we sat down as a group committee and we came up with a 50% increase. We haven't had an increase since 1993. And it's still under everybody, following cities around other towns. It came out to be great. It was a great meeting. I know we had a great meeting.
It was a very good meeting. A lot of good discussion.
I felt a lot.
The fees were not updated since 1993, inspection fees. The building permits were updated in 2005, just for clarification. Any other discussion?
Is there a fee
Is that on?
is there a fee for connecting the sewer going to the city?
Is there a fee for what, sir?
Connecting the sewer?
Yes, sir. This is a different, that is covered under the wastewater and water ordinances.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Any public comment? Okay. I need a roll call vote for approval of the first reading.
Councilmember Harbord,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Councilmember Berentine. Yes. Councilmember Weir.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-10 has been approved for its first reading.
I'm gonna make a motion to go ahead and do the second, third reading.
You make a motion to suspend the rules? That's up to you.
I'm asking.
You can, yeah. That's up to you. Otherwise, it comes back next month for a second reading and then a third reading, or anytime you
Make a motion to suspend.
we have a motion to suspend the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the second and third reading. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hefner,
Yes.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Councilmember Berentine. Yes. Councilmember Weir,
Yes.
Councilmember Harbord.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-10 has been approved through its third reading. If you wanted to adopt this tonight, I need a motion to suspend the rules and adopt this tonight.
So be it.
We have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2020-10 tonight.
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McMahon,
Yes.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Councilmember Berentine. Yes. Councilmember Weir,
Yes.
Councilmember Harbord,
Yes.
Councilmember Hefner.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-10 is adopted tonight. There's no need for a emergency clause. No need for emergency clause, not this type of thing. This will go into effect 30 days after it's published and posted. Thank you, council. Next on the agenda is my mayor's report. We need to go back. I missed one.
That's one.
I did miss one. I just realized that.
You missed Bruce.
I missed Bruce. How can you miss? Oh, yeah. I'd like to have Bruce Jones come up to the microphone, please, over there, sir. Got some information on some new testing. Okay. New testing requirements for the wastewater treatment plant to be starting potentially November 1st, and cost involved.
Right. So we have received our draft permit, NPDES permit for wastewater plant. It's about a year late, which is not getting to us. And there's some pretty major changes on it. For one, our design flows have increased from 0.5 MGD up to 1.45 MGD, which now makes us a major municipality. And with that, a lot more testing. So we currently test the effluent parameters as far as permit reporting 2 times a month. Okay. That now will go to 3 times a week. In addition, they have added just report only for phosphorus, nitrates, and nitrite nitrogen. And those are the big changes. And so that's a big cost to us. Currently, we have an outside lab doing the testing. So the cost of that testing is going to go up dramatically. And I have one quote in for Arkansas Analytical. I'm working on some others. We're also exploring the possibility of in-house testing, with purchase of lab equipment. So we're trying to get those numbers together to explore those options. This will go into effect possibly November the 1st, at the earliest. It's currently, I believe on September the 16th, it started its 30-day comment period. There is no public comment. In these 30 days, we have up to October the 16th. This will go into effect November 1st. If there is public comment, it likely will go into effect December 1. We did request to have it put off until January 1, but they denied our request.
I can't do that.
Yeah. So it's I mean, we just got it and, you know, just kind of slapped on us. So we're going to work with it the best that we can and go from there.
I wanted to give council heads up on this, that this additional cost is coming down. We are going to do a cost analysis to see if it's based on the information we get from Arkansas Analytical and other lab testing, whether it's more cost effective in the long run to buy the lab equipment and hire somebody to do in-house lab work. And then, of course, there'll be a change in, I've already put the CPA on notice about this. There'll be a change in the 2021 budget because of this. But the initial quote came in lower than what we had anticipated, so that's good news. But I just wanted to make council aware of this. This additional testing has been put on us, and we'll be on us for at least 2 years. If everything goes good, then Department of Health could relax some of the testing. We anticipate that it's not going to be a problem, obviously, but it's there for at least 2 years, and that additional testing is monthly. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, they're going to be out there basically every day gathering samples.
Yeah, basically from setting up the 24-hour composite sampler, which we will have to purchase that, have that on hand. They'll pretty much be out there at least 5 days a week, setting that up and taking it off to get those samples ready for an outside testing facility to pick up.
Pat, if we do this in-house, is there a way that that person that's doing it in-house can do the other cities and get a little bit of income there?
I mean, it's possible, but the reality is they wouldn't have the time.
An employee of our own.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I understand that, but
Work the wastewater plant full time and be tested. Because it's more than just one that you test, there's a dozen you can done daily. And it's like B testing, 5-day test. We need to get our own labs on there and have our own in-house. We can do it.
And that's what we're looking at is the cost, analysis of.
I believe that we got Mr. Jones and yourself, probably come up with a pretty good plan. And I know you're gonna spend that money like your own money. You don't want to spend the money you have to.
It's true.
So I would say let's go ahead right now as soon as we can and do the in-house analysis of the cost.
We are.
They are.
We are doing that. Yeah, that's what we're, depending on the cost of the testing, we'll bounce that against what it costs for hire somebody, how much it costs to buy the lab equipment. You also got to remember that the lab will have to be certified annually by the state. It meets certain criteria.
if they're certified, they can do other people's.
Possibly. I won't make that promise. Possibly
Well, I'm
that.
just saying,
Possibly we could, if others, well, now, but the point is, we have a new wastewater treatment plant. That's why we have additional testing. I'm not sure of any other new wastewater treatment plants in the area that would fall under this. They currently have their own, either like, Cabot, Jacksonville have their own in-house labs that do their testing.
So they're the
Are you
ones that
going
would
to
charge
have
you.
to establish a separate facility to do your testing?
We're thinking about if we went that route, we put it in that room next to where Bruce's office is right now. Be climate control, we can control the security on there. It'd just be a good place to put a lab. Individual, whoever we hired would pull the lab samples, come up here and run the tests. That person also would have responsibilities at the wastewater treatment plant, like you were saying, not just do lab all day long, but that'd be his primary focus. But we'd have to work up a job description on that individual.
Certified lab is a pretty stiff competition.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And
You
Cabot already
probably know
has.
that you worked at Jacksonville.
Yeah, I used to run the lab there too.
So you're lab certified.
Yeah, I mean,
Overtime.
I know all the tests and I could easily run it. The issue is I don't have the time.
And to your question, Robin, I'm not sure, and I don't know the answer to this, but just thinking, I'm not sure that one municipality can run tests for another municipality. You may have to go to a commercial lab. You in-house has to do just the in-house stuff. I don't know that answer.
Okay, well, you understand where I'm
Well,
going.
I do,
Okay.
but I don't know that answer. I mean,
Well, here's the thing, generally when an outside lab is doing the testing, that they want that the lab personnel to pick that sample up from the location versus bringing it to them.
right.
So you run into a lot of issues there.
That would require, if we did it for some other, we would have to, our person would have to go there, pick sample up and bring it back. That might be, not be cost effective either.
What kind of sampling, are they graph sampling or composite? What type of sampling are we requiring?
There is some grabs, but the majority of everything is going to be composite now.
Only at the plant, you don't have to go out to main bowl to.
Just at the plant. So, in addition, we will have to do chronic wet testing as well once a quarter. And that's to test the toxicity of our water, since we're a major municipality now. And basically they'll take Serendipity water fleas and fathead minnows, and they have to be able to thrive in our water and reproduce in order to pass those tests. Big change for us.
And how long during the day does this test take?
They all vary. So some are a matter of minutes, others take 24 hours. BOB takes 5 days. So they vary.
Obviously, there'll be more to come on this, but we just wanted to make sure that you were, give a heads up of this change.
And if y'all would like, anybody would like a copy of the draft permit to look that over, I can email it to you. My suggestion is, please make public comment on something. That way we can hopefully get this pushed to December 1st instead of February 1st.
What kind of value do you do testing standard methods or you have tried with
Microphone, Mr. Brooke.
So yes, standard methods, but there is, that's been updated. So there is a lot of electronic ones that are done quite simply. Yes. So there is a lot of hawk equipment that has been updated that is in standard methods. That is much faster. And to give you an example, like ammonia, nitrates, and nitrogen, you used to have to titrate all that, and it would take a very long time. It took a lot of equipment. Now you can do it with a simple hawk meter that takes a matter of 5 minutes. So big difference.
Any further questions for Mr. Bruce? The board is to come. Thank you. All right, now I think we're at the mayor's report. Highway 319, 367 intersection. I've been told that they're going to put it out for bid in November. Mr. Mayor Brook will attest that's been told to us before, but that's what they're telling us now. That's all I can go by. Yes, ma'am. November of this year. Yes, ma'am. The safe routes to school sidewalk project number 3 is still waiting RDOT to release the bid release. They virtually have all the documents and we've answered all their questions. That should be releasing time soon. The Arkansas Economic Development Grant removed 17 homes off the banking system. We are still having to get some easements person to person. I had a discussion today with an individual about his concerns on the easement letter, but we are moving forward. It will go. The engineer is out doing his surveying. His electrical engineer is out doing his surveying also, and we're moving forward with that. The Arkansas Parks and Tourism grant request advertised in the bid release has been advertised in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette this week and next week. We have a bid opening scheduled for October 27th at 2 p.m. Everybody's invited to that. The drainage studies, FEMA has approved us for the study. The next step is we have to go through a class with them on how to administer the grant with CAPDD. We'll get that going, and we'll also get with Bond Engineering, who will be doing the study for us. The Willard and Geraldine vacuum, that's a in-house study that we're doing to possibly move, I think, 64 houses off of the vacuum, which will further just take houses off the vacuum. That is on hold for right now, pending approval of the Lily Ann Court wastewater system, which is across the street, which is what we want to tie into. But that's got to be approved by Department of Health first before they'll look at our proposal. So that's on hold. The City Hall Regional Bike Trail, Metro Plan approved the concept of the plan as initially submitted with our letter of intent. The initial engineering study is complete and will be submitted to Metro Plan by September 30th. I can't remember the name of the engineering firm that Cabot hired is to get it all together. Metro Plan, though, this is not going to be approved for construction right now. This is going to be approved more than likely at Metro Plan for an engineering only study for this bid period. Meaning they'll have all the information. It's going to be lumped into a package later on, a bigger picture for the entire region, this pedestrian bike trail. But we're making the first step. It will be years before this is put into place, but without these first steps, we're not even going to get there. The workflow software, we did purchase the ShareNet software. We're expected to go live with that on January 4th of 2021. It will facilitate facilities, building maintenance, fleet maintenance, streets, work orders, utility work orders, city clerk, public information stuff, and inventory control. This will tie in about 3 different current software programs we have into one and make us a much smoother operation. Aristotle, still waiting on the decision concerning the City Hall Tower, where they're going to pay for it, put it up, or they want us to go in with them on this. They haven't got back with me. Their point of contact, though, to their was in the hospital for several weeks with COVID-19. He's since out, but I assume he's doing okay. Still waiting on that. Question was asked whether Aristotle would then offer free Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi to our citizens, and that's the plan for Aristotle. Get the Wi-Fi set up that's going to direct to our city facilities, and then open it up to the citizens that they can buy into a whatever proposal, whatever bid pack or contract they have, and whatever speed range they have on broadband. Census 2020, September 30th is the deadline. If you haven't done it, I don't know why not. Please do it. U.S. number is 66.1% that people have responded. Arkansas is only 60.1. Ward, we're doing pretty good at 71.2. We have a little contest going between Ward, Cabot, and Austin mayors about who's washing cars at the end of this. Right now, it looks like the Cabot mayor, myself, and maybe the Lone Oak mayor, if he kicks in too, will be washing the Austin vehicles because she has 76.9% return rate. One last push. If you know, send it out to your constituents on Facebook. Please do it if they haven't done it so. Sales tax for January through August as compared to 2019. The city portion of the county sales tax is up 13.26. The city sales tax is up 24.79. And I'll emphasize again, this is only because Supreme Court approved us to tax internet sales, us being the entire nation. Had that not happened, a lot of towns would be hurting right now because of COVID-19. But with everybody, a lot of people buying off the internet, and the tax is based on where it's received at. So if somebody buys something from Amazon or any other thing like that, and it's delivered to the city of Ward, we get the tax based on that. Same thing with if you go to somewhere in Cabot or go to Lowe's or or Home Depot, if you pick it up there, refrigerator, whatever, sales tax is gonna be there. But if you have it delivered, the sales tax is based off of ours, and we get that sales tax. So I'd encourage home delivery. Already talked about the master street plan and master sidewalk plan. Citywide cleanup, October 3rd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or until we run out of bins, whichever comes first. COVID-19 protocols will be held, and I've made an announcement on Facebook. I'll make it here. There will be no home pickup like we did last year. We had a couple trailers that went out and picked up people who elderly or handicapped who couldn't get in to bring their stuff. Because of COVID-19, we're just not going to do that this year. City workers are not going to do it, and I have not asked for any volunteers to do that. Now, if you want to be a good neighbor, go help your neighbor, go for it. But we're not asking for volunteers this year, and we're not going to send out vehicles. Just let you know, the vehicle sales that you approved, the Titer truck and the Mercury, have both been sold, sealed bid. We got pretty good money out of both of them. We got $338 out of the Titer truck and $1,821 out of the Mercury. It was pretty good. The fire department rescue vehicle is still out there for bid. Bid opening will be September 28th at 2 p.m. CADC emergency food box distribution will be October 13th from 10 a.m. till all the food is gone. It'll be at the Water Ops building, which was the old co-op for some of you who've been around here for a while, on 367 like we did. They're advertising this early. We anticipate a large turnout. Jay Benton and our police department will be out, helping direct traffic. This is something they do. I don't have to expend any man hours, in-house man hours. They take care of boxing and stripping and the whole thing. It may have additional local time for the police department, but we'll try to keep that as a minimum also.
I know it said that it was by
Income? Yes.
and you had to prove that you lived here. So how are they doing the income?
They'll ask you. And they trust you to tell the truth.
I was just
All right,
curious.
that's last time they did it. That's exactly what. Yeah, there's a phone number on the flyer that's on social media. It's supposed to be posted around town by them. If you have a question about the income, and they'll have a chart posted as you pull in. It will show your income, the number of people in your house, and the income that you can have. But they're very lax, or not lax, free in their
Lenient.
lenient. That's a good word. Lenient in their interpretation. So
I was just curious.
take advantage of it. It's supposed to be 50 pounds of food. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Early voting begins October 19th to November 2nd. In Ward, it begins at, will be at the Ward Chamber of Commerce, but you can go anywhere in the county to early vote, anywhere. Kind of an odd thing. We're all being told to wear a mask, and to come to City Hall, you have to have certain questions asked. Tonight, you had certain questions asked. We take your temperature. Not if you're voting. By the rules, because of voting, you don't want to, discourage voting. You can't ask any of those questions. You cannot take her temperature, and they don't have to wear a mask. Now, the voting commission will have partitions set up for them. They'll have sanitation. They'll clean after every time somebody votes on the machine. They'll wipe it down. But just let you all know that so if somebody complains to you that nobody's wearing masks to vote, they don't have to. And then also request for absentee ballots. You can pick them up online. We're going to have them up here at our reception desk, and we'll make a Facebook post about that. Anybody can send in a absentee ballot. Talked to the clerk the other day. They've had 900 plus requests in Lonoke County, when they normally have between 100 and 200, which adds to their cost, of course. But if you don't want to go, just do an absentee ballot. And on November 10th from 6 to 7, I'd like to have a 2021 budget meeting. The CPA will be available that day. We'll sit down and discuss what I propose is the new budget. And you'll have a chance to have your inputs on that day. So you have any problem with that day as a budget meeting? Sure.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. I was taking a whole week off.
November 10th, a Tuesday. Yeah, I do have it.
Goes in the middle, so I was thinking.
And that's my mayor's report for today. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? We do have one. Mr. Roberts, would you like to come up and speak? Come up to the microphone, please. 3 minutes, right? Mr. Roberts, state your name and you have 3 minutes, sir.
Really, I don't have much to say except for my property concerns the ordinance. No new ordinances, section 8 of the salvage yard. And I read what they're supposed to do, you know, and what they can't do, can't do. And I'm not getting a lot of talk to Jason a couple of times. I'm not getting much help. And they pretty much all say, no new ordinances, I guess, need the ones that help me enforce. So I don't.
Where is it?
On Campbell Street.
King Campbell Street.
I think that this is,
Jason knows, this is my life.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of health concerns. They're hauling in cars that's not running. I've never seen a rat in my life before, but now we have one running around in the backyard as big as a squirrel. And I think that's coming from right next door. And just
It's hard to take a picture of it one day and then the next day, 6 different cars. They pull parts off, they burn the plastic on the top of the number. This has been going on for quite a while. I'm not one to get involved in city politics.
I mean,
Then
they will be-
it's a lot to get me out.
I mean, you should be putting, you know, a commercial thing on them because I think they're making money
It's
from,
commercial.
Well,
from that.
we had spoke before the meeting and I told you that I'd send code enforcement out there tomorrow and I will.
That's what we want to say.
Yeah, and we'll, it is on Campbell Street.
Yes.
And Ms. Barentine has talked to me about it. I did go by, Baron Campbell.
When we, you know, I'm not arguing with them, that it's about it. We just say, look, they say it's a civil matter, and it is.
It isn't a civil, and to a certain extent it is, but it's not either because if he's running a unlicensed business, and I'm pretty sure that is zone R1 right there, can't have a business like that. Okay.
And we had certain rules of that.
Well, we'll take, but I promise you, code enforcement will be going out there tomorrow, and not just tomorrow, but we'll follow up on it, and then,
No, I'm thinking the code enforcement, the legality law, the written stuff, it states that, a salvage.
He's supposed to tag the car and he's got 15 days.
well, let me remind you that he is, if there is a business being run there unlicensed, that's a problem. Well,
Underneath.
That's all we have to say.
Okay, I promise, we will go take a look at it tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. That's our concern.
All right,
Campbell Street, that's in the middle of residential.
that's what I said, it's zone R1.
Yeah, that's not a street to me.
Ms. Barentine said it's across down the street from her. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You did, and I went and looked at that day, and at that day when I drove by, so he's good about moving things.
I think the code enforcement told him he needs to build a fence. Well, he didn't build a fence, it's like a barricade, 8-foot tall, something, and 6 foot.
Okay, comment from the folks in the audience that say build a barricade, it's an 8-foot something rather. Regardless, we're going to take a look at it. Okay. Any other comments from, if nothing else from the public? Announcements? Plenty.
Citywide feed coming up here in the citywide.
Oh, okay, what day is that going to be?
What's the next question?
Okay, Cornerstone Church usually offers a citywide feed, but we don't know what date yet, so.
Weekend before Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, we'll get that word out. Ask Mark to shoot us an email on that. And I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, and talking with Mark earlier, you're going to do just a drive-by, hand it out,
Yes, it'd be a carry out.
carry out only? Right, okay. Very good. Did you have something?
Well, one place you put November 9th for the budget and one place November 10th.
It's the, yeah, I think it's the 10th of Tuesday, right? The 10th, yeah,
Okay,
the 10th.
that was all I just know.
Thanks. Planning Commission meetings, September 28th at 7 PM. Again, the citywide cleanup is October 3rd. CADC Emergency Food Distro is October 13th. Next city council meeting is October 19th. And the budget meeting is November 10th. There'll be nothing further on the agenda. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
We have a motion second. All in favor, say aye, and you are
Aye.
dismissed. Thank y'all for showing up tonight.
Brian said they weren't gonna do the, because the cost people